What's up everyone, welcome to this video. Today we're going to review the eFootball version 5.3 update and everything that's been added to the game. Of course, now it is a new campaign, there's a refresh of the divisions, and the new campaign here, it's the Lunar New Year campaign. As you can see, it's going to last for 3 weeks. You can get a 100 coins here on day 8, day 16. And we have a new Showtime pack, over the top pass C. So there's going to be a new link up with a couple of new managers that have this special link up. And as you can see here, there's only 2 players and it is a 100 player pack. So it's getting interesting to see that Konami now, they're starting to tone it down with the packs. You know, these packs for the manager link up, they used to be 200 players. Now they've reduced it to 100 players. So you're, much more likely to get one of those top players here. And these words are quite interesting. Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk. We're going to have a look at them in a minute. But first, we're going to look at everything new that has been added here in this update. So first thing first, we're gonna have a look here at the eFootball points. We have a new player. It is Cody Gakpo here that you can sign for free for 5,000 eFootball points. And if you don't have eFootball points, then you have the possibility here to get 3,000 of them with this campaign here. You just go to the Konami eFootball website and you log in, and they will give you 3,000 points for free for the next 20 days. So this is it for the free players. There's a championship club event here for Borussia Dortmund. So once again, you have to go in the event section here, and you'll be able to compete for this. There's 50 eFootball coins that you can get from that. So the campaign for the Lunar New Year, you're gonna have to do all the games for the next 3 weeks, and if you do so, then you're gonna have this Showtime selection contract, as you can see here, and you're gonna have 3 players: Kang In, Neymar Jr., and the other one, I don't even know who he is. We're gonna have a look at this in a second here, and that is basically it for the things that have been added. Let's have a look at these players now. So let's see here, the over the top pass C with Mo Salah, momentum dribbling and blitz curler for Mo Salah. Interesting choice here, and the blitz curler is definitely something that is going to be very useful for Mo Salah. This seems like it would be a pretty decent card. So let's see here, prolific winger as usual, 88 rated, some decent stats. Mo Salah always very good on the wing, and with that blitz curler, he's going to be one of those very, very effective player. Blitz curler being one of the best skills. But then, if you have the Ankara Messi with the blitz curler, or if you have Lamine Yamal, then perhaps it is not all that necessary to get it. Offense creator is first booster, second booster. Pretty much anything offensive is going to be good, but anything that gives him kicking power or curl is going to be good because it's going to help him with the blitz curler. So let's see the skills here. He's got double touch, cut behind and turn, momentum dribbling, long range curler, blitz curler, rising shot, long range shooting, one-time shot, outside curler, penalty specialist. Some very, very good skills for him. The first one that I would add would be acrobatic finishing. Then it would be one-touch pass. And let's see, then, do you want to give him 2 skills and give him flip-flap and soul control to give him the double touch level 3? Perhaps that could be useful. And yeah, there's it's going to be really something that you have to decide. Do you want to give him that? Because that would take another 2 skill slots, and then you just have 1 left, but that will make him very, very difficult to stop. Then you could go for the Marseille turn, or maybe You just want to focus on, some skill to allow him to pass the ball. But I think if he's got the blitz curler, then you should probably just focus on, these offensive skills, and maybe another shooting skill could be useful for him. A pretty decent card here for Salah. If you don't have Messi, you don't have Yamal, you don't have anyone who's got the blitz curler on the right wing, then it could be a very good option. So the next one here, it is Virgil van Dijk. What is it? Visionary pass and a long reach tackle. Pretty interesting, and it goes very well, of course, with the over-the-top pass C. And we're going to see with the manager that has been added, Jurgen Klopp, where it's the central defender that will make the pass to either the right winger or the left winger. So let's see here. Built up, 89 rated. Virgil van Dijk, 195, 92 kilos. An absolute beast in defense. The only downside perhaps is his passing, even though here, as you can see, he's got some decent passing stats, and because he's got the visionary pass, it's going to help him rebuilding. I would go for the second booster for either shutdown or dueling. The player's skills here, he's got heading, visionary pass, a low lofted pass, man marking, interception, blocker, aerial superiority, sliding tackle, long reach tackle, captaincy. He's got everything that he needs in defense. Perhaps you could just add acrobatic clearance, and then fighting spirit could be useful for him. And then basically that's it. Then you can go and add some of the passing skills. I would go with one touch pass, through passing, and perhaps the weighted pass, so you can take advantage of his over the top pass. So a decent pack here, a decent showtime pack, only 100 players. So, it's the same sort of average that you get for the other packs, the link up packs. But instead of having 200 players where you have a chance of, opening 180 players and then you still have nobody here, if you open 100 players, then you're guaranteed of having these two. And I think it's a good thing for Konami that they're moving in this direction, because they were getting a little bit too greedy, making the packs bigger and bigger and forcing unlucky players to have to open packs all the way. So the next one here, it's Bebeto. And, in the same kind of dynamic here, now we have a only one epic pack here with 50 players, and it is a decent one. Bebeto here. I hope we see them now moving more in this direction, where they make a lot of 50 player packs with a single guy, because a lot of times, you see these packs like these 150 player packs or 200 player pack, and there's only one guy that you want, and you're gonna have to open 200 players to get just one person, and it's not really useful, and then you don't do it, and they probably lose a lot of money in this. But here, if you're interested in Bebeto, a decent card, phenomenal finishing, 86 poacher here. He can play even offensive midfielder if you give him a position token. A decent card. I have one of the previous Bebeto cards that I got in one of the promotions for free, and he is actually very good. So let's see here the skills: double touch, flip flap, cut behind and turn, long range curler, knuckle shot, acrobatic finishing, one time shot, phenomenal finishing, outside curler, and gamesmanship. There's quite a few skills that he's missing. I don't know about his overall. It seems that, they muted this card a little bit here. He's definitely going to need a few things. First of all, is going to be soul control, so that he can get the double touch level 3. Is going to be very good, of course, in dribbling here. Then you should probably give him the one touch pass to help him sort of play with his teammate, because he's a smaller guy at 173, so he's not going to be able to get away from the defender on his own. You have to use a relay to send him in the space and use his speed to your advantage. So let's see here. You can probably give him also long range shooting. He's got the knuckle shot. Yeah, I would definitely give him fighting spirit, because otherwise he's going to get pushed by the defender. But, overall, this Bebeto card is a very interesting player, but you have to pair him with another attacker that would be a little bit stronger and bigger, so that you have a good attacking duo with a smaller guy and fast guy and another taller guy, a stronger guy who can hold up the play. But I've definitely enjoyed his card, his free card that I have. So let's see what other packs we have here. We have the players of the week as usual. Let's see here. We have McAllister, Havertz, Joe Pedro, Akanji getting one for Inter Milan here. We'll see if he remains there or not. That is, or Rashford gets 1-2 here. So let's see now the other player of the week pack here. Konate getting a card. Madueke, Nuno Mendes gets one. Enzo Fernandez, Bremer. But as usual, now these packs, they're not all that interesting. Maybe you do the AI event and you get one spin for free and you get a chance to get one of these guys. So let's see here, this English league, these packs are not very interesting. Here is the selection contract that you're going to be able to get. So we have Neymar, Kang In, and who is this other guy? Semih, I cannot pronounce that. Is that eyes? Kili Shoy? I don't know. I don't know what his name is, but a Turkish guy here. So Neymar gets a blitz curler. You can get a free blitz curler Neymar, and I think this guy is going to be the most interesting of them all. And the only reason is solely going to be because of the blitz curler and because it is the most overpowering skill in this game. Lee Kang-in with a phenomenal pass. I think it's a decent one, but it's not nearly as good as the blitz curler, and because they're the same rating, and Lee Kang-in plays for PSG, so you cannot even use him in the events because the French league is not in the events. I would say Neymar is going to be the best pick here, but let's have a look at him first. Creative playmaker Neymar, so offensive midfielder here, not a winger, so he's going to be perhaps a little bit slower, but you can see his dribbling, ball control, tight possession stats very, very high, and he has the blitz curler. The curl also stats is pretty good. I think he's going to be a very interesting card. Ball protection, for the second, technique would be probably a good one considering his ball control and dribbling stats. Player skills, he's got the double touch, flip flap, Marseille turn, sombrero, cut behind and turn, long range curler, blitz curler, no look pass, penalty specialist, and gamesmanship. So I would definitely give him the sole control to get him the double touch level 3. Then he's got, all these dribbling skills, very, very interesting. So what should you go? It's probably going to depend on whether you want him to be a passer or do you want him to be a little bit more offensive kind of player. I think because he's a creative playmaker, you should make him a passer and focus on the passing skills. So, one touch pass would definitely be the most important, then through passing, weighted pass, and then perhaps something like pinpoint crossing would be useful. But a very, very good dribbler, I think it's better to focus on the passing skills for him because of his play style as a playmaker. All right, so the next one is Lee Kang-in here. Phenomenal pass, a roaming flank. And he can play in many different positions, especially on the right side. And it's going to be an interesting, but as a roaming flank, perhaps a little too slow to be going for the goal himself. Maybe they should have make him like a prolific winger. That would have been a better play style for him. He has some decent dribbling stat, not, all that great. Low pass is pretty good. I think lofted pass should have been much better for him. He's a very, very good crosser in real life. They should have perhaps made him a crossing specialist. It would have been a little bit more interesting. So offense creator for the booster, anything offensive really. I think technique is also going to be a good one for him. Passing could be a good one. Crossing could be interesting also, but anything offensive is going to be good for him. Player skills here is get double touch, Marseille turn, soul control, one touch pass, through passing, pinpoint crossing, outside curler, phenomenal pass, low lofted pass, and gamesmanship. So once again, you're going to want to give this guy the flip flap so that he can get the double touch level 3. And then it's going to be definitely the passing skills that are going to be interesting for him. He's got a lot of them. What is he missing? He's missing the weighted pass. He's missing the no-look pass, I guess. He's got through passing. Let's see. He has a low lofted pass. He has pretty much everything in that regard. So then it's going to be, do you want this guy to have sort of some of those shooting skills or not? But, I guess it's going to depend. Do you really want to use him as a roaming flank? And I think that's his drawback. The reason now I think Neymar is going to be a better choice is because this guy doesn't really have the right play style that's going to match his skills. Right, so the next one, the last one, phenomenal finishing here. Semih Kilchoy, I don't know if that's how you say it or not. Striker, let's see, 86 rated here. Playing for Cagliari. Strength as his first booster. I would assume that the second booster, striker instinct, is going to be the best for him. Player skills, here he's got scissor feint, double touch, cut behind and turn, soul control, long range curler, dipping shot, acrobatic finishing, one-time shot, phenomenal finishing, and he's got super sub. So once again, it seems that all these players, they're just one skill away from having the double touch level 3. So you're going to want to give him flip flap. And then you could perhaps go with a long range shooting. He's got dipping shot. You could go with some of the other, rising shot or knuckle shot. And he's got the acrobatic finishing. He's got phenomenal finishing. He's a pretty decent card here, but I think overall the best out of all these free players for the selection contract, Neymar is by far going to be the best. Of course, he's an ambassador of the game, so that would make sense that as a free player, they make this card better so that you would, be tempted to select him. But, definitely the Blitz Curler is going to make this card stand out against the other 3. So for the division here, the card that's going to be a bonus here, it's De Gea, and a pretty decent card here. I think it's one of the more interesting cards that we've seen in a while. A lot of times these cards, they're like absolutely useless, but here one that actually could be usable. All right, now we have the new nominating contract, signature goal celebration. So are these guys going to have their own celebration in the game? I'm guessing that will be the case. We'll see. A very nice design here for the card. We got Cole Palmer, Lautaro Martinez, Ferran Torres, Morgan Rogers, Paulo Dybala, Joshua Zirkzee, Ao Tanaka, and who's this last one here? Ismail Saibari. I'm not sure. I don't really know this guy, but very, very nice design for the cards here. Unlike a lot of those nominating contracts, who's the best here? It's hard to say, I think Cole Palmer, there's actually a lot of good players here. Cole Palmer is excellent. Lautaro Martinez also. Ferran Torres is very good. Dybala would be, I guess, the next one. And then perhaps Morgan Rogers and Zirkzee. But if you have only one token, I would say, and you have no players, basically, I would say Cole Palmer or Lautaro Martinez going to be the top 2. And then Ferran Torres, if you need someone in the Spanish league. So let's see now what is next here. That is all in terms of the new players. Of course, there is new packs now. So let's have a look here. The first one is the Borussia Dortmund, where you get All these players from Borussia Dortmund. Of course, there is the Borussia Dortmund event, so it could be useful if you want to play that event, because we haven't seen a lot of Dortmund players in the packs. And you get Niko Kovac, the new manager here. Long ball counter and out wide booster for kicking power and tight possession. And he's got the over-the-top pass A with the orchestrator as a defensive mid, playing for the striker as a center forward. A decent manager here. The only downside, I guess, is the booster. It's kicking power and tight possession. If he had something like finishing and acceleration, or finishing and speed, or even finishing and kicking power, I would have actually gotten him, especially considering his over-the-top pass A, which is one of the better link-up schemes here. Is this worth it? I think if you're going to do the Dortmund event, it is definitely worth it to just spend 1,500 coins and then get a manager and all the Dortmund players, especially if you don't have any of these guys. So the next one here is Jurgen Klopp, just as a standalone manager here. And let's see here. He's got the over-the-top pass C, where the center forward, a built-up center forward, will be able to play to a prolific winger, either on the left side or the right side. I don't know about that one. Possession game as his play style, in quick counter. Speed and aggression as the boosters. You really have to like the guy to get him. I don't think there's a lot of center backs that have enough of a passing ability to actually use this over-the-top pass C well. Unless you have that, then, essentially your center forward is just going to throw the ball forward and you're going to lose it right away, because most of them have bad passing stats. All right, so that's it in terms of the packs here. There is a new kit here for 100 coins. Collab kit with Cusco Rebel. I don't know who that is. Decent one, but I think in terms of design is probably not as good as the ones that we've seen in the past. So what else is there here? I think that's all in terms of players. Now we have the events left. As we've said, there is this Borussia Dortmund club event, and then the other events here, including those that have been added in the new campaign, the Lunar New Year campaign. As you can see here, now they make it a little bit easier. They change the design so we can see the rewards right away here. So the World Journey, you get tokens, the European Club Championship and the Spanish Club, so you can get the eFootball points and one spin for the Player of the Week, the European one and the regular one as usual. And then the final event here, it's going to be Spanish Club this week, and you get, as usual, 3 skill tokens and 50 eFootball coins. So to recap here, a lot has been added in terms of content. We have a new campaign, a decent amount of coins that you can get if you play these events. We're going to have a new selection contract at the end of the campaign, where you can get this Neymar Blitzcurler for free, which is going to be a pretty decent card. Konami now reducing the amount of players in the pack, so they make it easier for you to get these players. You can get Mo Salah Blitzcurler here on a 100 player pack, and you can get Bebeto on a 50 player pack. So it is a good sign that now they're making these packs smaller. Are they really worth it? Should you spin for them? No, I don't think so. As I've been saying in the last few weeks, you want to keep your coins for these players that are going to be, real headliners in the game, like we've seen Ibrahimovic and Ankara Messi, you want to keep your coins. Don't waste them on players that are going to be a little bit above average. Just wait until you see these absolutely massive players, and it's worth it to spend a little more on players that are going to last you a long time rather than spin for players that are going to be just average, and in a few months they will be outdated. So that's it, guys, for our review of this eFootball update. There's going to be some new things that have been announced, by the way, by Konami in their live stream, but it's going to take some time before we see them. But one of the main ones is that they're going to get a smart assist filter sometime this summer, perhaps, and you're going to be able to actually dismiss the people who play with a smart assist to play with players who only use manual control. So that is definitely a good sign, something that everybody has been asking, and finally they're answering. And it seems that the push of the community has been successful in getting Konami to sort of change their tune, both in the smart assist and also in the number of the players in the pack. So it's a good sign that they are answering what people really want from this game. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.
Hit me with that like, and sub to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell. Click that bit, alright. The algo recommends, for sure you gon' like. The algo knows you well. Hit me with that like, subscribe to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell.